Hi, Fiends. Thanks for joining me on DonnaJean's Coffee House of Horror. I am delighted to have with me a couple of folks who, if you don't already know them, you will come to know them. Matt Anderson, who is a filmmaker, a screenwriter, a director, photographer, and owner over at K13 Films, and many other things. And Amanda Megan. And Amanda is an actress and director of Anna Key, which is a K13 film. And she's going to talk to us about that and probably about other things. Thank you both so much for joining us.
You go first. This is your first one.
It is. Thank you for having me. It's nice to actually get to work with you a little bit.
Well,
And it's always fun coming on the show, DonnaJean.
the only problem you and I have, Matt, is we talk too much. So we do have Amanda here to silence us if need be.
Well, more so than me than you. It's your show. You can talk as much as you want, but me, on the other hand, she's probably going to be saying "shut up" at least 2 times. I'd lay good money on that one right now.
A good and powerful woman is a good thing to have in the room. Now, how did the two of you meet and start working together?
You want to field that one, or?
Sure.
All right.
So, Matt was working on a project called Heavy Duty Man.
Heavy Duty Man.
Shut up. There's one. So, a mutual friend of ours had messaged me and kind of like put us in a touch with each other because they were working on the trailer and they needed some extra people to come hang out and get the trailer ready to go. So I drove down. I got to work with Matt, meet a bunch of the other actors, and they're all like family now. So I'm really excited to see how that project turns out too.
You want to talk a little bit about K13 Films, Matt, and what's happening now? Where's it going?
Well, K13 Films has changed its name. We dropped the partners just because everybody kept calling it K13 Films. So we said, why not? So K13 Films we're gearing up. We're now in year 3. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary not too long ago.
Congratulations to that.
Thank you yay. So we're moving forward with our projects. We filmed Serious Profession, our crime drama, last year. We are now gearing up for a production on 2 new Phobias projects. Phobias originally is, from an interview way back, was supposed to be a feature-length film. We didn't quite raise the money, so we're doing these series of short little 5 to 8 minute vignettes where you kind of see some of the stuff going on before the movie. Hopefully that'll garner interest and gives us an opportunity to kind of just show off what we can do. And then Serious Profession will be coming out. We're getting ready to film Heavy Duty Man, the project that we met on. And that's going to be directed by Tom Toohey, written and directed by Tom Toohey. He actually did the whole thing. And then after that, we roll into production with Anna Key, with Amanda as the director. And she is also co-writer on Anna Key. She has been invaluable in getting the story of Anna in a much more realistic and grounded in reality kind of story, even though there's pieces of it that really aren't.
Right.
The third act, mostly.
Would you want to give us a little bit of a synopsis of Anna Key, Amanda?
So I'm trying to think of the best way to word it without like spoilers,
Right.
So Anna is basically just like a really chaotic woman, and she's been through some things, and she kind of finds a reason to question what she's doing with her life. And I really enjoyed working on the script with Matt because I related to it very well. Anna meets Danny.
Danny will be played by Jesse L. Green, who is well known in the horror film community.
And that's kind of what makes her start being like, you know what, maybe being so crazy isn't the best thing.
So it's sort of a trying to look at my life and pull my life together kind of a tale.
Yes, yeah.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. And but the big thing that we wanted to make sure with Anna is that she wasn't punished. Like so many of these movies, the character like that gets punished for who she is. And you know, the one of the key tenets that we came up with was making sure that she's still who she is, but maybe the way that she goes about or approaches things maybe needs to be re-examined. But we don't want her to lose the fire and energy that
makes her her.
Yes, exactly.
When you first came into this, did you guys, I understand that you were going to be the director. Did you come into this looking at being involved with the directing, at the acting? How did that come about?
So when Matt had reached out to me about Anarchy, he sent me the script. And so like I went through it and I gave him some really valuable feedback on it. And we had talked about me possibly being a producer on the film. And then we started talking about different aspects of it and different like positions. And I actually did a whole director pitch for this. So like he made me work for it.
Oh yeah, no free rides at K13. You got to come with your A game. And Amanda came with her A+ game. And she and I are, it's kind of scary how much she and I are on the same page about a lot of things. You know, we've been going through the audition process and she and I are like, yeah.
Awesome. Any idea about when the starting shooting date will be?
We're thinking probably like May, June-ish, I think.
Yeah, around June. It depends on Heavy Duty Man. That's in first position. Even though it's part of our grindhouse stupid movie arm, for lack of a better term, Cinephoto. It's still the next project we're going to do, and we'll do the Phobia's short films in between filmings. So, but yeah, so around June is when we're looking at starting.
You have said before that you kind of learned a valuable lesson when you were doing trying to do phobias when you were also doing serious profession. So is this kind of we're just going to focus on one thing at a time, and that way we're making it all that it can be. So yeah, that is actually the sage advice given to me by Tom Toohey, who working on Heavy Duty Man. We wanted to make sure that we got Heavy Duty Man, it's done and ready to go. And trying not to double up or triple up. You know, the Phobia shorts, those are easy. We can get those done quickly. 6 hours, we're done filming. But we're not going to try to film Anarchy and Heavy Duty Man at the same time. We're both involved in that project. She is going to be Red, one of the villains in Heavy Duty Man. She was in the trailer as one of the evil Zoom Pro instructors, but now she's been upgraded to a much bigger role. So we're going to be busy with that while at the same time doing pre-production on Anarchy. So, we don't want to bite off too much more on that big mutton leg. So Amanda, just to kind of jump in with you a little bit here to get to know you a little bit. Have you always wanted to get involved with acting? Did you always know this was a direction you were going to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. Horror movies were kind of like my thing for the longest time. When I was little, we had a whole family that lived together, and my parents would go out. My uncle would stay home and watch us, and he would let us all watch The Crypt Keeper. And my mom would always be like, "Don't let them watch that." But the second they left, she'd be like, "No, here you go." So I tell everybody it's his fault. But I've kind of always wanted to be in this kind of like a role. I've always wanted to be on sets or at a photo shoot, or I've always been a little bit of a ham, I guess. So I've worked on a couple other films. I do have a couple other projects coming up. But like Matt said, I'm trying not to overdo it. So Anarchy is my priority for this year.
That sounds like a really wise
Yes
direction to be going for the sake of the film and yourself as individuals as well.
Yeah. Well, Mark Byrne really showed me that's the best way to do it, along with Tom's advice. Is Mark Byrne, he makes one film and he works on that until it's done and out, and then he starts on the next one. And it's a very good philosophy to follow. But Amanda is actually still, even though we're only in pre-production Anarchy and with Heavy Duty Man, Amanda has been very busy working on a couple other projects, and she's got a couple more after Anarchy is over. So, or well, one of them you do kind of during a little bit.
Scott King is it's called Depravity. We're filming that sometime in August, so it's kind of going to be like a Anarchy, take a break, Anarchy.
And then the films you just worked on.
I just worked on The Naughty List. It's a Michael Taylor film. He and I did the Alone. I'll have to send you a link to it later. It's the Christmas slasher. So that was really fun to work with him and the whole crew that was out there and just kind of get festive with it. So
The Naughty List is the Christmas one, not Alone.
Yes, The Naughty List is the Christmas one.
Yeah. And actually, it was Alone that brought Amanda to my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Is Alone a K13 film?
No, it is Michael Taylor's film, who's also doing The Naughty List. So I'll let her speak on that one, because that's not my project. That's Michael's, and I want. Well, anyways, you go.
My turn.
I know. You didn't tell me to shut up, so I was kind of waiting for the shut up.
I was just watching you struggle. I was enjoying it. So Alone it's a short film. We filmed it in my little apartment in Pennsylvania. Mike came over and was like, I have this idea. What do you think about it? Let's work together. And like, I basically assisted. I was like his assistant director for that. So like, it was really cool to be able to play with some of the angles and actually like be behind the camera a little bit. And then Matt had actually posted some kind of like, hey, who was thinking about being a director? And so when I reached out to him, that was, he literally tells me this all the time. Like, the only reason that I even talked to you is for Alone. That Alone is kind of like a possession, short little film. It's super fun to make. Mike was great to work with.
Yeah, it really did show, just from talking with Mike and talking with her about all the stuff that went on with it. And for what they did, was his first short film, right?
It was the first thing he has ever filmed, to my knowledge, actually.
Yeah.
So yay for him. He did great with it.
He's a one-man band. He's engaged now.
Yes.
I have a question. Is it if the person asks the person, are they still a fiance, or is there a different term for that?
I'm pretty sure they're still fiance.
Okay. So anyways, he's his fiance, of course, is Noelle Berger. I always want to keep saying Berger, and I know it's not. Noelle
I
Berger.
Adore Noelle Berger.
Yeah.
She is also in The Naughty List. She is amazing, and they did just celebrate their engagement. So yay for them.
Yeah.
She's actually the one that I have been seeing posts for The Naughty List and things about. She brought it to my attention. So
yeah, she does that for a lot of different films in the horror world too. She's very supportive of like all of the arts.
Yeah, we're hoping to get Noelle on Heavy Duty Man, and she may even show up in Anarchy if depending on how things work out. So you never know. This year's going to be a very busy year for the both of us. So
sure is.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of it's with K13. So awesome. Hope everyone enjoys all the stuff that we got coming out.
And Anarchy, as you said a little bit earlier, that's more of a drama, not so much falls into the horror genre. Just bringing it up just because people see me, they're probably thinking I'm talking about a horror film. So
that's correct. Not a horror movie in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. It's funny. There was a original promotional photo that I was using, and I was told that makes it look like I spit on your grave. And I was like, Yeah, I don't think we want to do that. So that's why we
No,
I
we
went to one of
switched
the
it
ones.
up.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
switched it up. But yeah, no, it is a straight up drama. You know, K13, we kind of straddle the line. We do a little horror with like the phobias and the paralyzed and hoodie. And then we go over to things like Serious Profession and Anarchy. We really like to keep it diverse, kind of try different things. We think that there's an audience out there for all kinds of films. You know, we love our horror. We both have horror roots, but you know, we also want to not just stay in the horror community, even though it's one of the greatest communities out there. We want to really kind of just spread our wings, and Amanda is just going to do an absolutely stunning job, and I'll be right beside her, and I'll be her AD, and I will be helping her out, you know, as she needs me. But Anarchy's in really great hands with Amanda.
That is very exciting. Amanda, are you thinking to get involved with Phobias with one of those shorts?
I'm probably not going to, not this year anyway. Like I said, I don't want to overwhelm myself too much, like with heavy duty.
Right.
And maybe other projects in the future. I definitely plan on continue working with Matt and K13 for sure.
Well, it will be really, really awesome to see how that goes, where you go together, and kind of watch you blossom into this with the acting and the directing as well.
And producing. She's also
producing.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Indeed. So we've pretty much talked about what you've got working together, and where some of the things that you have up and coming, and we've actually talked about a lot. So just to kind of put it in perspective, you've got Heavy Duty Man will be looking at coming out soon, and you're involved with that,
correct,
Amanda. And then after that, we'll be looking at getting a start in Anarchy, of which you're also still looking at casting.
correct.
Yep.
So
yeah. And the Phobias, the two Phobia, we actually have 3 Phobia short films planned. First one, Project T, that's going to be filmed. That's going to be filmed in April. Phobia's Project M will be filmed in March. No relation. And then Phobia's Project B will be a little bit later on, and they'll come out spread out throughout the year. So they're not just we're not gonna film it and release it right away. We're gonna spread it out over the year, just to kind of keep people interested, and you know, just see how well they do, as well as you know, we'll keep everybody updated. We do have an Anarchy Facebook page that everyone can join. Serious Profession and Heavy Duty Man also. Serious Profession has a page. Heavy Duty Man's on our Cinema Photo Facebook page. Both those two movies, Serious Profession and Heavy Duty Man, still have in-demand Indiegogo campaigns. So we're always looking for additional funds to help with Heavy Duty Man with production, and with Serious Profession post-production. So we still have those two going. You can find links on our on the Facebook pages, as well as you can find everything through www.K13Film.com. That's our official company website, and you can see all the projects that we have coming on, including with one of our future projects, Black Widows, which we're working on that, but I can't really talk about that much right now because it's still in the development phase.
Now, does Anarchy have an Indiegogo?
Not yet, but we will.
Okay.
The game plan. Sorry,
no, you're fine. He's gonna have to do most of it anyway. So,
so we're casting it until Valentine's Day. That was intentional because it's a romantic story. So should end on Valentine's Day. And then once we do that, we have the in-person auditions and chemistry tests in March. And then we will film the promotional video for the Indiegogo campaign. So that'll be sometime in April. So
Okay, great.
it'll be sometime in April when we launch that. We just need to make sure we get all our ducks in a row first before we undertake that. So yeah, so that's where we're at with that. But you know, Amanda and I, matter of fact, we're having a production meeting, our first one, the official.
Yes, my first official production meeting this weekend.
This weekend. And we are going to be going through the entire script line by line, as well as reviewing the auditions that we received so far, picking out our favorites, start doing callbacks. We're also meeting with our other producer, Karen Cooley, who is not only producing, but she's also the music supervisor for Anna Key. We're actually going to have a soundtrack for the movie with, you know, not just music, like songs. And that's one of the things we're going to discuss is with Karen, is making sure that we get the right kind of music for this film, because it's going to be an important piece. And even though unfortunately we can't afford like Cream and Hootie and the Blowfish songs, so we got to come up with our own versions.
It worked for John Carpenter.
Yeah, well, you know, but he's a master, and I can barely twang the keyboard on my iPhone's GarageBand app. So Karen is going to be an integral part of that, as well as just her understanding of the character as well. She's been very supportive and has given us some feedback as well. So Karen's involvement along with Amanda is a new production team that we're calling U Films. And it's U Films is basically designed to promote films like Anna Key and that kind of genre in the independent community. So they are U Films, and I am K13 Films, which is producing and releasing the project.
That's very exciting. So you're starting a whole new little corner of the world with the U Films to kind of focus on the indie films in general.
Yeah, kind of. We felt, I think I can speak for Matt on this one this time.
Well, it's yours.
We felt like everybody loves a good horror movie. There's no denying that. There's so many indie horror movies out there. There's not so many romances or comedies or what have you. So we really wanted to kind of like bring that into more of a focus too. And I think this is a great way to do it. And I like, in my mind, the U is kind of like unite, or like everybody just like comes together, and it feels so good.
But there are a lot of great up and coming filmmakers out there. So, you know, we want to encourage that, and we want to support everybody that we can, but we also want to bring other opportunities to actors and filmmakers and things like that. So, you know, we are a small community, but we're a tight-knit community, and anything that we can do to help each other out, you know, just betters us all. And that's always been the goal at K13 Films, is to do that. And by bringing on new talent like Amanda and Tom Toohey, and as well as other established folks, I definitely think that Anna Key, along with every other things, is really going to showcase what this area can do, because this area can do a lot, and there's a lot of great people out there, and a lot of filmmakers that are not with K13 that once they make their shot, watch out, because they're gonna take the world by storm. Right? And she'll be right there with them.
It's interesting, during the pandemic, how many indie filmmakers kind of found some roots to start to move forward. And also how shorts really became kind of a thing. I know that they were at one time, then it kind of went away. So it's kind of nice that there's an opportunity for those to be kind of finding a home in with indie films.
I think it's great that they're doing some of the shorts. It really gives people like a different creative outlet. And it's like, I know some people, like I'm one of those people where like sometimes my attention span is like 2 seconds, squirrel. So I feel like it's good for everybody.
2 seconds, squirrel.
Yep.
Yeah. It's and part of the reason why we're doing Phobias is right now as short films is because there's a lot to it, and the actual movie is very in depth, but kind of want to just kind of get people aware of it and to start doing the slow build. Plus, doing something like that, they're always small crews, limits the exposure, so that but people still keep acting. And that was one of the hardest parts for a lot of actors, is during the pandemic they couldn't do anything. And so shorts is great because you come in, you do it real quick, and you get that heck out. So that's that's kind of I think that's going to be around for a while.
I think so too.
And I think that there's so many short film festivals out there. There's tons of them. So there's a lot of opportunity out there for people to take the time, build something, make a film, put it out there, and see what happens. And I mean, that's what I did with Hoodie, and now we're making our second feature film in just a little over 2 years. That's pretty much actually our second and third feature films, because Heavy Duty Man's a feature film.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy year.
Yeah, so
it is. It's very exciting, and it'll be beautiful to see how you go. Maybe I'll have the opportunity to run into you at one of these film festivals. That would be a wonderful thing.
Well, you'll be getting an invite to the premiere of Serious Profession, Heavy Duty Man, and then Anarchy, which probably won't be until 2023. But if you want a job done right, you got to take the time. So
you do. Thank you so much for joining us, going through all of this, and I hope we have the opportunity to do this again. Maybe chat a little bit once Anarchy is actually out there and you don't have to be quite so secretive about it. So, but I am sure it is. I look forward to it. It's going to be just amazing. And thank you so much for joining us. And you guys out there, Matt Anderson, and keep your mind on Amanda Megan.
Thanks a bunch, DonnaJean.